What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Beyond Meat. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Beyond Meat is down 5.4%, 127 the low, 137 the high, and 10.7 million shares being traded. So kind of low volume today. But today is a very interesting day because we did have a lot of companies that came out with their earnings, phenomenal numbers, but Wall Street just said, nope, valuations too high, and that's why we are essentially going down. There hasn't really been anything crazy other than just Wall Street's interpretation of companies' valuations. So in Beyond Meat's case, this is why I always like to analyze where volume comes from. So currently now 24.17, so an institution clearly just bought in. But of that volume, even though we are red, you are seeing kind of everything just being artificially suppressed. And so right now we are seeing about 6 transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. And so when it comes down to it, from what we can see here, institutions are very much buying the dip with Beyond Meat and many other stocks out there. So it is algorithmic trading that is really adding a certain level of suppression. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Coming from a macro standpoint, there really hasn't been all that much in kind of news or anything today to justify today's push lower, aside from, like I mentioned, just Wall Street's interpretation of valuations. But Beyond Meat did put out news, and this is something I do really like about Beyond Meat, is that their management is very self-aware of what's happening. So they get it, and even what I brought up in my video yesterday, them pushing back their earnings is not a good thing. So they're trying their very best to keep giving operational updates to get people on board for just more of the fundamentals and being a long-term investor rather than just more of a momentum kind of swing trader or whatever. But Beyond Meat teams up with Hard Rock Cafe to bring the latest Beyond Burger to fans nationwide. So they are really expanding. I think if they hit a couple big names out there, expansion into, let's say, Target or something else, then I feel like that would be a massive catalyst for Beyond Meat. But again, it's going to be their earnings and what they give for future guidance. That's what Wall Street and true long-term institutional investors really care about, if the company is doing anything to turn themselves around. Because despite what a lot of people think, that there's a lot of demand and whatever, I think the operational side of Beyond Meat has been lagging, and I've been very transparent about that. But at the time of doing this video, shorts are returning. So this is, again, why I like to analyze a lot of the data, because shorts wouldn't be returning if they felt that today's push lower was justified. So right now, they are returning 1.42 million shares, 25.3% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 90.36 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average kind of in line with what it has been, so 5.3%. But from what you can see from this green line right here, shorts have really started to double and triple down. So kind of interesting. You are having a little bit more of a back and forth, a little bit of a battle, but eventually, I think it'll come down to their earnings, whether we see kind of the pre-existing highs, let's say $5 or above, or if it really does kind of break Beyond Meat. It's gonna, like I said, come down to their earnings. Market just opened roughly 20 minutes ago, so take this with a grain of salt. And if there is a lot of big updates, then I'll do a PM video. But 639,000 in calls, 652,000 in puts, and then 53% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. So even though the stock price is red, so far every single data point that I've brought up is bullish, including even the options. From a bull standpoint, you see consensus for it to be roughly around that $2 range by the end of this week, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $1. So like I said, a little bit more back and forth, and it looks like, on a side note, Beyond Meat is going to be turning green right now. And from my watch list, that's one of the only few stocks that's kind of green, aside from him and hers. So definitely good stuff as far as that goes. Right now with it at 139, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 135 is going to be that key support. And ideally, best case scenario, it closes above that today. And given how much, I guess, Beyond Meat is getting bought up, it is fair to assume that we will be closing above that 135. Next strong target is going to be 154, followed by 185. Aside from all of that, popping quickly over here. So on the actual chart, it's not really like anything positive, to be honest, to bring up. So it is below a lot of the key moving averages that generally I like to look at, as well as kind of a lot of technical individuals. Stochastic RSI is neutral, so it's not really overbought nor oversold. So it could go essentially either way, but right now the 50-day moving average is sitting at 222, and then the 10-day moving average, which is kind of a good indicator of momentum, is sitting at 203. So kind of just watch for those. Most likely they won't be hit today at all, but over the next couple of trading days they potentially could be. Looking at the market position though, you see a lot more, not really, to be honest, that much change, a little bit more willing buyers. But then again, I think just the market doesn't really know what's happening. I feel like a lot of people are just blindsided by kind of this pull a little bit lower. For those of you that joined my Patreon, you'd already know that most likely Palantir's earnings was going to prompt a market to push lower because of valuations. So again, if you are interested in kind of that type of updates, then pop over there. Looks like Beyond Meat just turned green, and very, very green, so things are heating up. Aside from that, there hasn't really been that much in articles, aside from just reiterating kind of the news that they did put out today. So let me know your thoughts on Beyond Meat. Are you buying? Are you selling? As I've mentioned in the past, if you do truly believe in Beyond Meat, really consider looking at options. So for instance, if you feel by December it'll be about 250 post earnings, that is going to work out to be a 76.87% increase from the common stock. If you buy a long call, so for instance a $1 call strike price, you can get return on your risk 172.73%. so definitely very advantageous to look at options. On a side note, if you do want access to all of this, which makes options very, very simple, very easy, pop over to Moomoo. I have a link to them in the description below and also the comments, and I believe that they actually have some promos. If you throw some money at it, I think it's $100, they give you $50 back. So definitely take advantage of that. It makes options very simple. And even flip side, if you are bearish, let's say on Beyond Meat, and you feel it's going to go down, you can pretty much still make a lot more money on options. So definitely take the time to research options. Very profitable, very beneficial. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.